Welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews as we end up, I don't know.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's try that one again.
Try that again. Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott, that's Dave, and we are finishing off March with the classic I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. Keenan Ivory Wayans, the rest of the other Wayans, everybody you would imagine they worked with, everybody who's somebody.
Brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. All his brothers, his sister. Yeah.
What was the actress, the main actress in that movie? What was her name again?
Which one?
The one who played the love interest.
Oh my God. Damn it.
Look her up.
Yeah, you look her up. I looked at it earlier.
We'll continue talking. Yeah, we'll continue talking about this.
But this is a great spoof on exploitation films that turns out to not be a spoof.
Not so much a spoof, right?
No, it is taking the formula of girl gets kidnapped by other club owner. Here we go with the clubs and the women again, and he's going to use her for money. And well, her love interest, Junebug's brother, Jack,
Junebug with all the gold chains.
Yeah, I think of the bathroom in that. Goes to rescue her, enlisting the help of a big community guy who fought Mr. Big years back, John Spade, I believe.
Yeah.
Played by Bernie Casey, who, my God, this man has had quite a career. He has been in so many damn movies. But it's the typical Wayans humor, but it's, again, for a spoof, it's like, wow, this movie's like spot on to.
Oh yeah, they were perfect for this.
Yeah, it was really good. Isaac Hayes, was it Fred Ward or Jim Ward?
So.
Yeah, when he's asking Keenan Ivory Wayans, what makes you think you can be a black hero, and Keenan just stares at him and said, I was a football player.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Lots
Can't
of
really argue with that.
What's that?
Can't really argue with that.
No. But, and you know, we mentioned all the Wayans family in there. The scene with his sister Kim on stage singing. Oh my God!
What's funny is she started out like you could hear that she can actually sing. You know.
And I don't know how much you remember of Living Color, but David Alan Grier would do the Rhesus and Cece, or Cece and Rhesus or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just that horrible singing. It's like, there's the evolution of that. This is where that character came from.
Oh my God, that's so hysterical.
But they ask, who is she? Who's the singer? Who is that? It's a director's sister.
Yeah. And then the camera pans over to Keenan Wayans, and he's like looking around, like rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
Move on, shall we? Dawn Lewis. I knew her name.
Dawn Lewis, that's it.
For some odd reason, I just got a brain fart. I want to just say this real quick before we get into the comedy aspect of this. The Keenan and Dawn, if you look at them, I would say that their chemistry, on-screen chemistry, was for me as good as John Travolta and
Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John, yes, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Like, I was watching their chemistry last night, because I watched this last night, and I'm watching, I'm like, I would love to see these two do another movie together.
Absolutely. They can do anything
like
together.
Romantic comedy, just straight up comedy like they did this time, either way would work really well, because I thought there was something in the camera that the camera caught on those two, and she played, I'd seen her in a lot of stuff, and she was on, she was in a series. It was a spin-off of The Cosby Show, where the girl goes to college.
Oh, yes.
I want to say Facts of Life, but that's not right.
Not Facts of Life. Something World.
A Different World.
A Different World, yes.
She played the older college girl that was supposed to be like the house mom, for lack of a better term. Dun, 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 dun. There's a big cat. Dun, 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 dun. They always come to visit during the
They do.
filming.
They
But
do.
she played a pretty stoic, pretty straight up, much more stern. That is a fat cat, man. Look at that belly. For anybody who's listening to this on the podcast and is wondering what the hell I'm talking about, he just held up the biggest pussy that you'd ever see and rubbed it. And I mean cat wise. He rubbed the
Yes.
kitty. He rubbed the kitty cat on the belly. And it's this cat looked not intimidated, but like, could you get over this? I'm a cat.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy this. But anyway, back to Don Lewis and Keenan Ivory Wayans. Their ability on screen to look like they were actually having chemistry together, I thought was phenomenal. I would love to see them. I don't know what either one of them are doing. I think Keenan got out of Hollywood because they were just a bunch of bastards.
Yeah.
I think he just said, "Screw you! I've got my money. I'm going to retire." I don't know. I'd love to find out what he's doing now. But I'd love to see him get with her again and make another movie. Get the family together. You guys make brilliant movies. If this somehow gets to a Waynes brother, just a Waynes, a Wayne's brother, just my God, do another movie. This is
Please.
freaking hysterical. This is an older movie, but it's hysterical.
Anything.
Don't worry about all the assholes that are out there that are gonna pick at you. Fuck them. They're gonna pick at you anyway, no matter what you do. This was a funny movie.
Oh my God, yes.
It was spot on for the time then, and there's a lot of stuff I can still see in it from today. An early Chris Rock showed up.
Oh my God, how much for one rib?
I always forget. I always think that scene is in "Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood."
No.
Well, there's like 5 more words in that damn
Yeah,
title.
while being a menace to society. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be a menace to society while drinking,
Your juice in the hood. Yeah.
That's it. I always think that scene with him trying to get the rib, then pulling out the big wad of cash. I always think that's in that movie, but I forgot happily. I forgot that it was in this one.
Yeah.
The let's go to the beginning.
Yeah.
When Keenan's character shows up, he's fresh out of the army. His brother's just died, but he missed the funeral. And then you got the 2 guys coming into the mom's house, trying to shake down the mom for $5,000 that the dead son supposedly owed. And they're like grabbing the ass and trying to molest the girl that used to be the dead son's boyfriend or girlfriend. And the mom at that point just loses it, and she just beats the hell out of the 2 guys. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
She just kicks the hell out of him, and then she finally looks at him. Do you want to go out the window? There's only 2 ways out of this apartment.
The window
out
or
the
the
window or down the stairs. And they're like, "Oh, we'll just take the stairs." Cut to them being thrown down the stairs by the mom.
And that becomes a running gag throughout the entire movie.
There's so much. If anybody out there likes Blazing Saddles, you're gonna love this movie. That the humor is the same type of humor. It's just silly. It's off the wall. You can some of the jokes some of the jokes you see coming from a mile away, and other jokes just kind of sneak up on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought it was very well written.
Oh, it's great.
Very, very well acted. Like you said, it takes place. It fakes itself as a blaxploitation movie, but it's so much more. It's just funny. It's just so goddamn funny. And then Mr. Big shows up, and it's a white guy, of course. The bad guy in it is a white guy.
Yeah.
Mr.
They're
Big.
like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Well, all big actors do exploitation films."
Yeah. Angie Dickinson did Big Bad Mama. They're naming like all the big white actors from the 70s that did blaxploitation movies or exploitation film of any sort.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so funny. But man, I can't think of that actor's name. I want to say Conrad, but that's not right. But he was one of those actors that, as a kid growing up, I saw him in so many shows. And every time you've seen him, you knew he was going to be the bad guy. I
Mhm.
don't know that that man ever played a good guy.
Yeah.
That he ever played a good guy.
That was cool to see some of the bigger names that they brought in there.
Yeah,
One of my
yeah.
favorite scenes in this movie, though, is when Keenan goes to get help from John Spade, and he's developed some sort of ghetto Olympics for so the kids have something they're used to, and it shows two guys running with giant TVs. Now this is the '80s. TVs were used to be freaking huge and
Yeah,
heavy.
they
These
weren't
big ass
thin.
TVs, and Dobermans chasing them. And then the next scene, they're stripping a car, being timed on how fast they can strip a car.
Yeah, the guy, he's timing him, and he's in an umpire suit. He's like, ready, go, and he's like, clicks the time stopwatch. It's a new record. They're like, yay!
And the car's just
They
going.
walk, they walk away, and the only thing that's left is the frame and the steering
Yeah.
shaft for the steering wheel. Oh my god, that's so freaking hysterical. Shit, you probably couldn't do now. Actually, I say you could do it.
We
You
could.
just got to be unapologetic for the humor. When somebody complains about it, you just shrug and go, "Yeah, and you don't like it, don't go see it." I don't know
And
what to
that's
tell you.
something I was going to bring up. One of my favorite shows came on in the '90s, and it was Sean and Marlon Wayans with the Wayans brothers. I've been
Right.
rewatching that entire series, and holy shit! Today, if they aired that, they would be having riots or protests over crossing the lines of being inappropriate racial humor against
Uh,
Asians, Jews, you name it. They just made jokes about everything, and it's so funny. But I'm watching, I was like, "Ooh, that would have stung now."
oh yeah, yeah, because nobody has a sense of humor. Everybody's looking to be insulted
Yeah,
or looking to be offended. And I just say, as long as you're offending everybody, I don't care. That's why I like South Park so much.
exactly.
And I'm telling you, I watched South Park for a long time, probably for the first few years it was on for sure. I never missed an episode. And there was a couple of times I got insulted watching South Park. I was just like, oh, that's offensive. Oh my God, that's the most offensive thing. And I'm like, but then I'd laugh and everybody would look at me like, well, how can you watch that? I'm like, because they offend everybody. I said, eventually, if you watch it, you're getting offended.
Oh yeah.
And I never used to think that. I always thought, well, they're going to offend everybody else. And then they did something that offended me. I forgot what the hell the joke was. I think it was like, Jesus,
Well, that's
it was
just it.
Cartman.
Finding humor where there's humor, you know.
Yeah, funny is funny. And even if I found it insulting, you know what? I went back the next week and I watched another episode because I wanted to see who they were going to insult that week. So, you know what? If your skin's so thin, don't watch comedies. Don't watch anything, I don't know what to tell you because you're going to get insulted.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And fuck you, you do.
But I think that's what makes, to me, I mean, you nailed it, and I never even thought of it. It really puts this movie in a league with Blazing Saddles.
Oh, definitely.
Just
Definitely, I think.
because there's no lines they won't cross.
And
And
that's what I liked about the
and it's,
Wayans brothers,
yes,
you know?
yep. And that's
They,
why we need another white chicks. So Keenan, Sean, Marlon, if you're listening, white chicks too, please.
I've never seen White Chicks. I've never had a want to, but everybody that's seen it thinks it's hysterical.
It is one of the
So I'm gonna
funniest
have to
fucking movies ever, man. You have got to watch it.
visit them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it. But yeah, Keenan Wayans has, and he didn't look like, to look at him, you would not think this cat had as big a sense of humor and as good a sense
I
of
know,
humor.
right?
And, like you would just look at him and think, doctor, maybe a lawyer, some kind of an accountant. That was the vibe
Right.
that I always got. He always looked very straight laced to me. And for him to come out and being Soldier Boy, and the guy, when they're going to get all the weapons at one point, when they're going to get the weapons to save the girl,
Yeah.
he's, he's like, I was trained to be a soldier. And he's like, well, what kind of training did you have? And he's looking away. He's like, well, what kind of training did you have? I was, what was a secretarial agency or something like that.
Departmental something or other.
Interdepartmental, yeah, interdepartmental. You were a secretary?
So was I.
Yeah, the other guy, the other soldier guy is like, so was I. They went through like the little typewriter thing with the fingers. I just
he
died because I'm
lost
like, oh my God.
he lost the eye from
Yeah,
a paperclip fight.
the older soldier that was giving him the weapons is like, well, how did you lose your eye, man? Oh, well, we were all goofing around in the office one day, and that comes back as a joke later on too. Oh my God. This movie, I tell you, if you've got a sense of humor, watch it. If you don't
Yes.
have a sense of humor, for the love of God, don't watch it. And don't tell me how racist it is or inappropriate it is or that it is or, how it insulted fart jokes or whatever else. I don't care because this movie is damn funny. The Wayans brothers do not do enough today. I
No,
don't think any of them do enough today.
no, I
I
don't know
don't
what
know
the
what
last
else.
movie was they did. Maybe dance movie or something, but I'm gonna have to look and see if there's more. Um, the scary movies were good. Great
Now,
smoke.
were those the Wayans brothers?
The first two.
The first two were?
Hmm.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just always been behind the scenes now. But I'd like to see him in front of the camera again. I
Yeah.
mean, that's me. That's my spoiled little. I'd love to see him and Don Lewis
Absolutely.
do another movie because I'd love to see an actual romantic comedy with those two. Because those, I mean, I was watching that the other night, like last night when I was watching, I was really thinking these two have got a really good chemistry, and I would love to see them do just a romantic comedy, a la Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. I mean,
You have you
to
seen
me, that's what I'd like to say.
Low Down Dirty Shame? It's Keenan and
No, I
Jada
haven't.
Pinkett. Um,
Really?
yeah, it's around the same time frame. It is
Huh?
hilarious too. It's
Low
another
Down
really
Dirty
good
Shame.
one.
I've heard of it. I want to say I've heard of it, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was thinking of it last night.
That's
Like, man, I need to watch that one again because it's pretty
all
good.
right. I'll definitely watch that. I will definitely watch that one.
Yeah, so that's
That's funny.
when Sean and Marlon had their show. They caught a lot of grief, and a lot of people were upset, I guess, over their portrayal. They were accused of quote cooning it up or whatever the hell that means, and not the show's fucking funny. So the Wayans
It
are
me
unapologetic.
that's for me. That's dog whistle talk for you're not kissing the right people's ass,
There you
and
go.
I'm the right people, and they're not.
Yeah,
I.e., I'm Reverend Al Sharpton. Kiss my ass. Oh, you're not going to kiss my ass?
yeah.
Well, I'm going to do everything I can to try and destroy you. Well, it didn't
And
work out because those guys, I'm sure, are still working
oh, they are. But what happened is that show just ended. Warner Brothers just killed it.
because
They never
they're
even got a
fucking
chance
pussies.
to close it out or anything. It did 5 seasons and
Because
ended. It's like,
you had a bunch of white guys in charge
yeah,
that got scared instead of somebody going, you know what, these guys are funny. They're bringing us money, and I don't give a shit. Same. It's the same reason that I think it was NBC canceled the Hillbillies. Because somebody looked at him and said, "You got the Hick Network. You've got the Beverly Hillbillies. You've got Green Acres. You've got Petticoat Junction, which all
they're all
three
great
were
shows.
the highest. They were the highest rated shows ever in television at that point. The guy that was running NBC was playing golf with the guys at ABC and CBS, and they were basically insulting him. And he wanted to fit in. He didn't want to be the guy that was known as the Hick Station. Well, it's because they were fucking jealous of his ratings. He went and he canceled all three of those shows. He canceled them all like one right after the other. Boom,
They
boom,
were
boom,
great
boom, boom.
shows.
They
That
were they were
that's
they. I
believable.
would say when they got canceled, they at least had at least three more good years before you should have let that show go
Yeah,
because they're still hysterical. I watch all of them and I still think they're funny, but it's the same mentality. Oh no, I've got to get rid of this because I don't want anybody to think I'm a hick. I don't want anybody to think I'm racist. I don't want anybody to think that I'm fill in the blank. Well, guess what? Funny's funny. I don't care.
exactly.
I don't care if it's hillbilly funny. I don't care if it's black guy in the hood funny. I don't care if it's Midwestern farmer funny. Funny's funny.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you're a Canadian and you're up north and I used to watch SCTV, very
Good
Canadian,
stuff.
very,
Good
very,
stuff,
it's
man.
a lot of New York and Chicago guys there, but it was done in Canada for a very small network, and it just went crazy.
Yeah.
Funny shit. That
Well, we got a
stuff
lot
was
of great
absolutely
actors from that
hysterical.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, they were all Second City guys and women, out of there. Andrea Martin wound up doing Star Trek as the Frangi's mom. I love her. She's so funny. That is one funny dame.
Yeah.
That's a woman that I'd love to meet. She'd probably make me pee my pants. Just so damn funny. But yeah, just humor is humor, and I think people get too bogged down nowadays with I gotta be offended. Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. God in heaven, it's funny.
Yeah.
I can't think of when he's going to people when Keenan Waynes is going to people trying to find
You're not selling no way,
to
are
help
you?
him. Yeah, you're not selling no way, are you? Which is Amway basically. But he keeps going to people and everybody's turning him down. So he's all depressed and he's walking downtown and he looks up and he sees the Black Power fist and it's like the People's Revolution Army of
Linga. Yeah.
California or something. And he's like, that's it. These are the guys. These are the guys I need. And he goes in there and he meets the black guy that's in charge. And the guy's wearing the beret and he's got the African garb on. He's got the one black leather glove. And he's, talking power to the people. And he's like, I need somebody to help me. Yes, brother. I need this. Yes, brother. I need to get an army together and attack these guys. Oh, wait. He's like, what do you mean, wait?
Yeah, he took the last protest. They all ended up getting jobs. We marched down there and they were hiring.
Yeah, we all marched on the government building downtown. You know the one. Yeah, well, that day they were hiring. And 1,000 guys got jobs that day. So that destroyed his army. and then his wife comes out. And his wife is a white lady and she's got braids in her hair. Now, the funniest thing about the white lady that it's Jan Brady, the original Jan Brady from the original Brady Bunch.
Yes.
I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, it's the first time I ever looked at her and recognized her and said, "Who is this white woman?" I recognized her. And Kat's looking at me, she's like, "It's Jan Brady." I'm like, what? She goes, "That's the original Jan Brady." I was like, how the hell? And I'm looking, and finally they did a shot where the camera stayed on her long enough. And I was like, oh my God, that's hysterical. Why did this woman ever stop doing comedy? After that, she should have been in every Wayans Brothers movie ever. And Keenan Wayans, if you ever see this and you decide because two stupid old age white guys said you should do another movie because you're hysterical, please get her to be in a movie.
Yes.
She was funny as fuck in that scene. Just the one scene she was. Did you recognize the two kids?
No.
The little girl was the one from Jurassic Park, and I think that little boy was the little boy from Jurassic Park.
Wow.
The first Jurassic Park.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Are you sure?
That was her. The
Really?
little boy, I think it's the same little boy, but I'm not sure about the little boy. But that little girl is the little girl from Jurassic Park.
Well, when did Jurassic Park come out? It was late 90s. Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
Late 90s. It was pretty early 90s.
Yeah.
Because I went to see it when I was living up in Jersey at a theater.
You're right. That was damn. Wow. All right. One of the funniest things about that scene is the little boy's book report. Abraham Lincoln was born poor white trash in a cabin in Illinois. Yes.
And the dad's sitting there egging him on. Yes. And these two kids couldn't have been more white. And you painted them. Blonde hair, blue eyed. Oh my God, it was so funny.
So funny.
That was one of my favorite scenes because it was just I remember the first time I saw it, I was crying. The first time I saw this movie, I was crying during that scene because it just came out of left field,
Yes.
out of nowhere. It was hysterical. And now the second time to see it, or the third, or however many times I've seen this movie, to realize that's Jan Brady,
I know. When you told me that this
greatest
morning, I'm
white girl
like,
in Whitey Whiteville. Holy crap! Just take me away, man. Put her in another movie, Keenan and Ivory, and just just do it because it's funny.
yes.
It's hysterical. Oh, the things that I just find funny about this movie. Oh, whenever he's in the he goes to pick up the girl at her job.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy goes to pick her up, and she's like, "I'll be right back. I'll get my jacket." And the two thugs come in, and they're going to start a fight. And the mom comes in. Nobody's going to pick on my boy.
And
Did
it
you
switches
notice?
to the stunt man with the mustache.
It's a white guy with a mustache. He looks Italian. It's the stunt double. It is so blatant. It's so damn funny.
It's
And
perfect.
then and it's funny because when they stop the scene, you can still see. I mean, it's a straight on shot of a white guy with a mustache, and then they do a cut scene where the mom's got the guy in the
Yeah.
headlock or whatever, and she's like, "Nobody messes with my boy,
Yeah.
Mama. You can't keep fighting all my fights for me."
Oh, which leads to, I forget their names, but Keenan's fear of the midgets, the midget family, and some girl, Lois somebody or whatever. Mom!
That's the one. The midget beat him up and took his lunch money in school.
Yeah.
And that's not a family. That's a gang. It's a gang of midgets.
Yeah, well, he finds him too. He runs into the sucker in that
Oh,
club.
he winds up running into the guy and beating the shit out of him. I remember you, soldier boy. I remember you. I
Well,
remember you,
and that
Spade. I remember you.
that actor I have seen before. I've seen him in a lot of things
Oh
too.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
everybody in here has been in a ton of shit.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. There were so many good scenes and so much good. And had they just taken the comedy out, it would have been just a regular
Another
exploitation movie.
Blaxploitation film.
You know, you just would have never noticed.
Yeah.
It's. I would rate this up there with what the hell is it, the one lightning? I want to call it Black Lightning, but that's not right. Um,
Dynamite. Like,
Black Dynamite. Black
okay, I
Dynamite.
need to watch that.
If you have not seen Black Dynamite
I need to watch
yet,
that.
you will love it, and you'll love it even more because you'll know it's a comedy going in.
Yeah.
When I first watched Black Dynamite, all I saw was the name and I saw the picture, like in the little thing on Netflix years ago when I first watched it. I turned it out. I was like, oh, good, the exploitation movie. I dig this. One I've never heard of. Had no idea that this thing was a comedy. Had no idea that it was done very recently. And I'm sitting there watching it, going, wow, they cleaned this film up. It looks really good. And then I forgot it. I started doing other stuff and things, and I'm kind of watching it, kind of paying half attention, and explosions and fights, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, that's cool. And then I sit down and I forgot one of the lines. Somebody says something. I'm like, and it was what did he just say? And I turn around and then I start paying attention to it. I'm like, oh my god, this thing's a comedy. This is a comedy. This isn't a blaxploitation movie. This is a freaking comedy. And from there on, I just sat there and watched it. Like I didn't get distracted by anything else. And I was like, oh my god! And it's the guy who played Spawn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't think
It
of his
was
name,
his
but
idea. He produced it. I'm not sure if he directed it, but I think he helped write it.
ah,
Like that whole thing was his idea, and I was like, what a great guy! And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. I mean,
I'm gonna
I
have
was
to
like,
watch
I'm done. This guy's just fucking awesome, just for coming up with that idea, that
it.
character. He needs to do another one of those too, because it was funny.
This reminded me of also Undercover Brother with Eddie Griffin. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get you sucker came out of the gates first, and you had these two other
Oh
movies
yeah.
that
Oh
just
yeah.
took that formula and ran with it. Here, let's make fun of these style of films. And
not just that, but let's make fun. Let's make fun of ourselves and the mirror that we're looking into.
Yes.
And it's fun to do that. Like as a white guy, if I were going to do an exploitation film of some sort, but make it a comedy, I'm not really sure. I guess I would have to go back to the old school. What the hell, like Smokey and the Bandits version, or the old. For a while there in the 70s, they did a lot of moonshine movies where the guys were running moonshine.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of moonshine, and plus you're against the cops. You'd have to make fun of that as a mirror. You'd have to use that, to write against and go, okay, what stupid funny shit do white people do? Oh, well, I know a white guy who did this. I mean, there's plenty of shit to make fun of, and I'm going to do it. And yeah, there you go. And every time you turn around, you're getting ready to do something stupid. Here, hold my beer.
Hey, y'all watch it.
Yeah, watch this. Watch what I can do.
And that brings me to David Alan Grier as a news reporter.
I forgot about that.
The whitest guy in the movie. But I can do what I'm saying? Springsteen.
Yeah, I could never dance. He's just like, I could never dance. Well, I was raised in an all-white neighborhood. All my friends were white. I could never dance.
It was great. He was great. And John Witherspoon.
What's funny is, oh my God, even the white guy that was standing next to him was looking at him like going, "You are
how embarrassing."
so white.
Yeah.
Oh, Witherspoon, Jesus.
Yeah, it was a good one. So what are your what's your final thoughts on I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka?
My final thoughts, I think I've made that quite clear. I love a good comedy, and I love a good comedy that certain people don't like for whatever reason. Like, oh, it's insulting me, it's insulting them. I find that humor hysterical. That's why I love Don Rickles, because he would insult everybody.
Yeah.
It didn't matter whether you were white, black, Jewish, straight, gay. Didn't matter. If you were at a Don Rickles and you were too close to him, you were getting insulted, man. You were going down. But I just like this kind of humor. I think it was right up there with Blazing Saddles. I think these guys don't do enough, or maybe they do, but they're all behind the scenes now. I don't know. I would love to see, and I'm going to say it again, I'd love to see Keenan and Dawn in a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Old school romantic comedy, new school romantic comedy. Just make it as fun as you can possibly make it and as awkward as you can possibly make it. And dude, I will go watch it. I will fucking tell everybody to watch it because I just love these guys. I think they are some of the funniest, most talented writers in Hollywood at that time. And something tells me when they decide to come back, they're just going to push everybody's buttons.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's what they're doing. Like they were just like, okay, for the last 10 years, we've been real quiet. But I've been taking notes.
We do need a resurgence of this I don't give a fuck that we got from Mel Brooks, the Wayans brothers. This is funny. If you don't like it, fine. If you do, awesome. And we need to return to that.
Yeah, we just need to be funny again without worrying about insulting anybody. And if you're insulted, I'm sorry.
Funny's funny.
Keep going.
Funny is funny. Yeah,
if you listen to me long enough, I'm going to insult you. If you listen to me long enough, I'm going to say something that you find hysterical.
Yeah. Or find it hysterically insulting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, face it, we've done what, 40 of these shows now? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure I've insulted somebody, and I'm sure somebody's laughed their ass off.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm making a gun symbol with my fingers, and all I did was count 1, 2, thumb, pointing finger. Look at that.
And that does it for the show today.
I'm just insulting somebody doing that.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna pick my nose. I just insulted somebody.
And that goes with my final thoughts on this movie. This is classic comedy. It's always been a huge fan of the Wayans brothers. They're a huge influence in my writing. I was watching this, and my first screenplay that I wrote is a heist movie, and I'm watching this, and it's like, oh my God, I obviously was influenced by this movie big time. I've got scenes in here that are similar. I've got characters that are similar. I got gags that are similar. It's like, oh my God.
I remember reading that. I remember
Yeah.
reading that, and I never caught it. But you might be right.
Yeah.
You were probably very influenced by the Wayans brothers.
I've always been influenced by them because I love the comedy. I love it even when it doesn't stick. It's stupid. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's, you know what? They may not hit every single ball, but they're throwing them out there. And that's,
Well,
it's awesome.
it's like their old series, Living Color.
Yes.
That show, I remember that was one of the few shows that I watched every week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, that Living Colors, this is gonna be great. Because you knew you were gonna laugh. You knew you were gonna chuckle, and you knew sometimes, every once in a while, they gave you something to think about. But usually they just made you laugh.
Yeah.
And I loved the fact that they just made me laugh. I didn't have to worry about going in there, and if they insulted me, it was funny. So I didn't care. You know?
Exactly.
But they never went out to insult anybody. They were just like, okay, we're going to go have fun. Come on. Come with me. And I enjoyed the ride, man. Guys, and I know they're never going to see this. I know this in my heart of hearts that they're never going to see this, but I got to tell you, you guys are some of the funniest son of a bitches that I've ever seen.
Yep.
And if you ever do a movie, I'm going to see it. I mean, that's all there's to it. The romantic comedy, just an idea. It's a good idea. But yeah, that'd be absolutely great.
Yeah.
But those guys, they're funny, irreverent, comes to mind, I guess is the word. Yeah. Without being mean. Nothing in their comedy that I've ever seen has ever been mean to anybody.
Inappropriate, yeah, but that all depends on the time and the thickness of one's skin.
Their inappropriateness, I would say, definitely depends on the thickness of one's skin.
Yeah.
If you got a really thin skin, sorry, you're not going to make it in the world.
You're not going to make it in many comedies. So you're not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah, you're not going to make it. Yeah, you're not going to make it in a fucking old school comedy or a new school comedy. You're just not. But yeah, it's funny. These guys are talented. I love them. I think, yeah. That's it. That's my guess. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it.
I agree 100%. Must watch. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a fan of Blaxploitation or not. If you like comedy, watch this movie. You will still get the humor. That's what's great. So that's going to do it for the month of March. What we have coming next month will be a surprise because Dave and I don't even know what the hell we're watching next.
I haven't got a clue.
No clue, but
it'll be something.
I bet it's a movie.
It's going to be something else. We're going to watch documentaries.
So thanks for watching, listening. You can catch us on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts or Facebook or wherever. Yes.
Listen, real quick. Scott, tell them your Instagram. We get a lot of listens on Instagram.
Instagram on SA Warner 13. SA Warner 13. Yes. And you can find us on YouTube as OAMR. You can search for that. Old Ass Movie Reviews will bring it up. Same way with Facebook, OAMR. And on Twitter as well, but not nearly as active. And for podcasts, search OAMR on Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon, Apple, you name it, we're there. And I'd like to thank you all, and thanks for everybody who's been checking us out on YouTube, giving all those wonderful views that came out of nowhere. So much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm stunned. I'm still stunned. Thank you. Whoever you people are, thank you. You beautiful.
All right, we'll catch you next time with something.
With something.